Hi, Honourable. How are you? Sir, how are you? Hi, Namaskar. You know Mr. Kalijawala?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who hasn't heard of him? That as long as he produced 2 first-rate plays, he would not be required to fill an attendance register. That's one input. A great faculty, and I see so many of my colleagues, Kavita ji here, a great faculty makes for a great institution. But more than that, I think a great institution is defined, and I'm not trying to pamper you guys, by its student body. So let me say that sometimes it's difficult to get into these institutions, especially with these crazy kinds of high school markings. I believe this is one institution, unless you get 100%, you can't get in. Thank God that we were born in an earlier generation. But let me start by saying that institution has to serve in a country where Mother Nature or God, whoever provides these things, had provided the most beautiful water bodies, mountains, and I asked myself a question. What did God do to compensate? You'll get your... So somebody said that they had a conversation with God and said ki mountains are beautiful, the water bodies are very nice, but jo log wahan pe rakhe hain, they make up for to produce a balance. So when I look at the life of this rock star, somebody whom we've taken great pride in, the product not only of this university but of this college, and I found 2 little snippets. One is that he is very proud to admit that he used to travel by the Delhi transport undertaking buses and never bought a ticket in his life. So this is the first admission of a celebrity on ticketless travel.
Same.
And he has an explanation which I'm sure he might or might not want to share with you. And the second is he had a compact with the principal of the day. And that was that as long as you produce 2 first-rate plays, theatrical productions, you will not be asked for attendance. Now this principal whom we are referring to, Shri P.C. Verma, highly respected person, but I had an experience with several other principals, and my wife has ensured that I will not, Lakshmi has said, I will not relate some of the other incidents of other principals. This college is famous for many things. First-rate academic achievements, the world of theatre.
The thought that you will be reading what I have written. I've been coming to this stage for decades and decades now, Mr. Puri. And it's always a great feeling. It's always a very fulfilling feeling. I have even gone to sleep in the aisles behind in the back room and feel a sense of power somehow, as though I'm invincible here. You know, it's almost as though I've come home and nothing bad can happen to me here. So I don't know who to thank, but the spirit of the college, as he said, if there is nature or God or whatever it is, I think that also participates in this college and somehow for me, because a lot of things have come to me from this college and this university. The word, Mr. Puri, that comes to my mind first when you ask me to speak is irreverence. And I think it's a soft power that people like me acquire when they come into Delhi University. And there is a sense of protest, there is a sense of shedding what you have believed in earlier. It could be the political view, world view, it could be just opinions or your favorite writer. All those things are shed and you rebel against stuff. But I'm saying it's a soft power because we don't really know this creating a chaos beyond a point. I think it becomes a part of somebody's personality to use.
Neetaji, I mean, the literary acclaim, all that well earned. But I have not come across many people who decided during the course of a highly eventful time in college that she was willing to forsake.
And she peered over my shoulder and she said, "You can't fill in that form." So I said, "Why not?" She said, "You haven't studied it." And that was the year the principal had back 120 students. And she did not use her discretion, which was the 10% discretion, to give them that little leeway. Anyway, so on, the story went on and on and on. We went to court. Arun Jaitley was our lawyer. We won the thing, but we
मैं भी ना खरीदता। उस समय इम्तियाज से मेरा कोई लेना देना नहीं था। वैसे भी उम्र में छोटे हैं, अकल में बड़े हैं। But you know, as Hatif said, there is a defining quality about the aura here. Even Namita referred to that. Others will refer to this. There's something special here in this university, in its colleges, that binds us. And if you will excuse me for a very personal reference, my son, when he was finishing high school, was insistent that he would like to study abroad. He was very gifted in physics, very gifted. But I urged him to take a first degree from Delhi University. And his degree bears my signature.
I never interrupt anyone, and not someone as distinguished a friend as you are, sir. But he's probably the only one I know. His signature and that of his father. 2 generations of signatures were there on the degrees of those who were graduating from school.
Thank you, Rajiv. And I asked my son when I mentioned that I'm going to attend this event here. He lives in the US. And I said, is it okay for me to say that you really felt happy that you could spend 3 years at Delhi University before you went abroad? And he said, you know, he refers to me as Dadu. He said, Dadu, I would never want to exchange that experience for anything else in the world. And this university affords all kinds of opportunities. And my father used to say that the most defining feature of the university is that it attracts such awesome talent from all parts of India. Yes. And India resides in the university and the university resides in India. I don't see any distinction. मैं 2 ही बातें और कहूँगा मेरे वालिद साहब ने मुझसे बताया था, क्योंकि वो वाकिफ थे, कि यही बाजू में जो रिज है, इस पहाड़ी पे अगर आपको कभी वक्त मिले, फुर्सत हो तो जरूर जाइएगा। वहां एक लेक है जिसका नाम है खूनी खान लेक। 1857 के दौर में जब फिरंगियों को, गोरों को वहां से निकाला गया, तो यही आकर उन्होंने शरण ली थी और हमारे क्रांतिकारियों ने यही घेरा डाल लिया था उनके ऊपर, हिंदू राव हॉस्पिटल में भी और चारों तरफ। और जो आखिरी, उस मेरा अनुमान है कि उस क्रांति का सबसे घमासान जो युद्ध हुआ वो यहीं पर हुआ है और हमारा हर एक क्रांतिकारी यहां पर शहीद हुआ है, कुर्बानी दी है उसने। उसके ही लहू से उस लेक का पानी लाल हो गया था, तब से उसको खूनी खान लेक कहते हैं। और मैं मानता हूं कि उन्हीं के आशीष से हम लोग यहां पर आज मौजूद हैं। इस यूनिवर्सिटी ने इतना अच्छा प्रदर्शन किया है। दूसरी बात मैं जो कहना चाहता हूं, if I have a couple of minutes, Hardeep, there is a certain irreverence that even Imtiaz referred to, Namita referred to, and others will. In Hardeep's own account, I find that this university, जिसको हम alma mater कहते हैं अंग्रेजी में, nourishing mother, ये हमारी जननी है, ये हम बर्दाश्त करती है हमारी हर हरकत को और उसके बाद हमको पालती है, पोसती है। और हरकतें हम सबने बहुत की है। मैं एक आखिरी बताऊंगा, हरकत खूब बड़ी बड़ी हरकतें की हैं। सेंट स्टीवेंस में मैंने एक प्रैक्टिकल जोक ऑर्गेनाइज किया, तो वहां वोट हाउस सोसाइटी है, शायद अभी भी बरकरार होगी। वो हर वर्ष एक प्रैक्टिकल जोक वीक मनाती थी और आपको तब तक नहीं मालूम पड़ता था कि वीक आ गई है जब तक पहला जोक न खेला जाए। एक वर्ष मैंने भी पहला जोक किया। मैंने म्यूजिक सोसाइटी को बेवकूफ बनाया और ऐलान करवा दिया कि पाकिस्तान से रजाकत अली और नजाकत अली दोनों आए हैं। उस समय जियाउल हक साहब वहां के सदर रियासत थे और इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि उन लोगों को मैंने कहा है कि आपके सदर रियासत हमारे कॉलेज से थे, तो आप यहां आकर परफॉर्मेंस दीजिए। और फिर मैंने म्यूजिक फैकल्टी से 2 लड़कों को पकड़ा, उनको ड्रेसअप कराया एज म्यूजिशियंस। भूटान एम्बेसी की एक सीडी मर्सिडीज गाड़ी ली, म्यूजिशियंस को बिठाया, हम सब मिलकर यहां से पहुंचे। वहां पूरा कॉलेज और बाहर के तमाम लोग, बड़े फेमस सिंगर्स थे वो लोग, सब मौजूद थे वहां। स्टेज पे आए सिंगर बैठे। इम्तियाज, तुम्हें इसमें कुछ शायद स्टोरी स्क्रिप्ट मिल जाए, ध्यान देना। तो वो जब बैठे तो वो गला साफ करते रहे, जनाब जो है उस्ताद, खूब देर तक। उसके बाद अंत में वो गुनगुना रहे थे, तो जब दिल ही टूट गया, लेकिन लोगों ने कहा शायद अभी वार्म अप कर रहे हैं, आप उतर जाएंगे असलियत पे। और फिर जोरों से बुलंद आवाज से बोले, बाबा ब्लैक शिप हैव यू एनी वूल।
कॉलेज ने एक थिएट्रिकल प्ले के लिए उन्होंने कहा कि उनको डीटीसी बस पे ट्रैवल करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी, क्योंकि आधी हिंदू कॉलेज की पॉपुलेशन जिसके पास मोटरसाइकिल थे वो लाइन लगा के उनके साथ जाया करते थे। और जब वो यहाँ पे एक थिएट्रिकल प्ले कर रहे थे तो इवन दैट पार्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट पॉपुलेशन जिसको नॉडिंग एक्वेंटेंस नहीं थी थिएटर के साथ या कोई लेना देना नहीं था, क्योंकि किसी और कॉलेज की पॉपुलेशन स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ आ रही थी, तो दे ऑल वर इन द हॉल ऑल द टाइम इंक्लूडिंग ड्यूरिंग द रिहर्सल्स। बट देयर इज अ मोर सीरियस लेवल ऑफ टॉलरेंस। जब I think it was around 42 or so when Sir Morris Dyer was the Vice Chancellor and the students of this esteemed institution, यहाँ पे बड़ी बड़ी हरकतें हुई हैं। एक बार कुछ हॉस्टल के लड़कों को रात को भूख लगी तो उन्होंने वो क्या हमारी कैंटीन ने नहीं क्या वो जो उसको रेड कर दिया। But they indulged students of Hindu College, Ramjas College and St. Stephen's College, indulged in violence. But it was not violence in the sense of individual acts of criminality. This was violence in the context of a growing nationalist fervor. So Sir Maurice Gayer was told to take action against these students. And I read in your piece that he looked the other way. Now, Sir Maurice Gayer is the Vice Chancellor.
Hardeep has been, but I am about, and that's what my article chapter here really explores, I'm about belonging to the southern campus and a women's college. So that's the experience that my chapter shares. And let me begin by saying also that when you asked me to write a chapter, it was for the first time, it made me think about Delhi University. What does it mean to me? And what in my small way I mean to the university, to my college, Lady Shri Ram College, and then the South Campus that I went on from there. And it was, as Namita says, it's like going back on a time machine and a journey of rediscovering who were you, because I'd never thought before about how I have evolved to where I am and what are the different stages until you made me really go into that journey of discovery. And I thought that
St. Stephen's College had this great tradition that if you did well in life, they used to, instead of calling it the dining hall and as we do, they used to say, come and dine in residence or something like that. So the faculty used to sit on a high table. I enjoyed it. I was a part of the faculty for a year. So there is this gentleman who went there and he wrote, I am what I am because of the college, capital C, meaning St. Stephen's College. So the guy who came after it, also a foreign service officer, somewhat a little more irreverent, who wrote underneath that, why blame the college? The fact is, if you spend 3 years, even 3 years in an institution, it rubs off. And what you gain, what you give, it stays with you as part of your life. Then if you spend, my friend Andy have 3 or 5 years and teaching also others, I mean, it shows the change that we subject. I was a young first or second year activist when my
law, I have to get into either CA or MBA. And so I went into law. And it was probably the best thing that happened to me because I joined a profession which at that stage completely opened up. In '79, when I came to the bar after having passed out of government law college, the law just started doing better and better and better. And post-liberalization in 92, 93, the legal profession went through the roof. Today, I mean, except perhaps for investment banking, it's probably one of the best paying professions for those who are successful. And that was one of the advantages that I had. By somehow accidentally having to do law, I just stepped into what they call the fast track. Sometimes in life, and this has always been my experience, that people, and I personally feel, if you ask my view, one of the worst advices you can give people is to say, follow your passion. Because that really doesn't mean anything. If you want to be successful, and if you want to be a commercial success, which most of us need to be because that's the part of the world in which we live, then you have to look at what is the fast track profession of your time. And then you have to find it and you have to go for it. And that just accidentally is what happened to me. I stepped into a profession which
Delhi University should address. How do you do that? So let me quickly add. During my time, and this isn't because of me, because of the strength of this university, including this venerable college, that we had begun to knock on the doors of the top 200 club already. And if we hadn't had some setbacks, we would have probably entered the top 100. It can be done. And how do you do that? विश्वविद्यालय का प्रधान ध्येय होता है कि हर व्यक्ति विशेष को अपने अंतरात्मा की खोज का अवसर दिलाए, अंतर्ध्वनि को, और तब वो प्रशिक्षित होने लगता है. और जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी विच इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी डिड इन नियर वर्बेटिम फैशन in 2013-14, near verbatim, really has all the features, and that's what allowed us to get to the top 200. So I believe that's it, the challenge for the university. We should put all our resources at our command to do that. Thank you.
Thank you for